Going to talk about blood this morning. You know, some of you are nurses and worked in healthcare or whatever, and all of us have been around times where we've seen someone bleeding, and some people at the very sight of blood, what did they do? That's right, Ben, they pass out, don't they? But when we think about blood, we don't really, the sight of it bothers us. But the purpose of it is the reason that we're here. Without blood, there's no life. Without blood, there's no life. We're going to think about that this morning as we think about the blood of Jesus and the idea that he donated his blood upon the cross in a way that we've never donated blood for others, or for the reason that we donate blood. I'm a blood donor, or have been prior to coming down with the alpha-gal allergy. Every time I had the opportunity, I would donate blood so I could help someone maintain their human life. But the blood of Jesus that was shed on the cross is so that we could maintain our soul for life eternal through his blood and the grace that's provided. I normally don't use other people's material as far as verbatim when I do a talk like this. This morning I'm going to, because I found a very interesting illustration here about blood, and it's entitled "The Greatest Blood Donation of All Time." And it reads like this, and you have to pay attention to the names and all, so you can understand the point toward the end of the reading. Back in 1951, an Australian man named James Harrison needed 13 pints of other people's blood to endure a major chest operation that took hours. After hearing that, he vowed to become a blood donor as soon as he was eligible at age 18. At about this time, health officials in the country were trying to figure out how to prevent thousands of miscarriages caused by hemolytic disease known as HDN. It often occurs when a mother with Rh negative blood becomes pregnant with a child of Rh positive blood. The mother's body is incompatible for the child's blood and attacks it. Doctors determined that donated plasma with a rare antibody could prevent this rejection. They searched blood banks and found what they wanted in James Harrison, and that's the guy that mentioned earlier as we were reading, who had been donating blood regularly for a decade. Harrison donated plasma from his blood for the first time in 1967. It was such a perfect match that the government built an entire program around it, creating an injection for pregnant women called Anti-D. Harrison donated his blood and plasma regularly over the next 60 years, helping more than 2.4 million Australian babies survive in the womb. One of them was his own grandchild. His blood saved millions of lives. And the writer of this makes a statement. You may see where I'm going with this. And he goes on and he talks about Jesus. About 2,000 years ago, the Son of Man in Israel fulfilled his destiny to become a blood donor for the whole world. The imperfect blood of sacrificial bulls and goats had fulfilled the purpose for a time, but their blood could never be redemptive. Mankind needed the pure, perfect blood of Jesus for that. And as we think about that this morning, the blood of Jesus, the only blood that's ever been donated that can save the world, the entire world, from their sins. This is recorded in Hebrews chapter 9, verses 11 through 14. And once this is read, think on these things as we partake this morning in realizing what the blood of Jesus really means to us, and that the perfect Lamb was sacrificed for us. Hebrews 9, beginning verse 11. But Christ, being come and high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood, he entered in once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us. For if the blood of bulls and goats and the ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctify to the purifying of the flesh, listen to this, verse 14. How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through your eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? And that's a question. Greatest question ever asked. What is the blood of Jesus worth to mankind? I don't know of any other question could ever be asked to realize how much significance that cross played and that death played upon us. Let's remember those things as we partake this morning.